This is Score Golf, the voice of Canadian golf. Score Golf is powered by Volkswagen, from one good drive to another. And brought to you by RBC, proud sponsor of the RBC Canadian Open. Now, here's your host, Bob Weeks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Score Golf TV. On today's show, we're changing it up a little bit. We're not going to have all of our regular features. We're going to just focus on the best players in the game today. Over the course of the next hour, we're going to show you highlights of some of the players playing. We're going to take you behind the scenes and show you what they do when they're not golfing. We're going to take you to a very interesting photo shoot that we did recently with Mike Weir for Score Golf magazine. But to start things off, we want to take you into the gym. Now, Camilo Villegas is one of the fittest players in all of golf. How does he get that way? How does he work out? What does he do to preserve his great play on the PGA Tour? You will be surprised. Here's a little look behind the scenes in the gym with Camilo Villegas.
My life keeps me balanced. I've always tried to describe by three locations: Medellin, Colombia, my country, my family, a little bit more social. Then I have here Jupiter, Florida. It's what I call peace. Nobody bothers you here. I come, I do my training, I go do my practice, I recharge. And then I have the PGA Tour, which I call the zoo. And I mean the zoo in a good way. But why the zoo? It's because there's so many moving parts. There's so many distractions. Everybody wants a little piece of you. Everybody wants to talk to you. You got the fans, you got the media, you got the golf, you got the practice, you got all the gadgets that they keep trying to show you out there. There's a lot of distractions. So you put the three together and it works out pretty good. It's balanced. It's tough. It's a lot of work. But again, if you want to dream and you want to accomplish your goals, you gotta work hard. It's pretty good here in the States, I can tell you that. I mean, the college sports is unbelievable. The University of Florida and their athletic program was very influential and very helpful in my life. So freshman year in college, 138 pounds, body fat 12, 13%, shortest guy on the team. I have one dream: play golf on the PGA Tour. I asked the question, what do I have to do? How can I get better to accomplish the dream? I have all these opportunities in front of me that I really didn't have before, which was I had a trainer, and I had a nutritionist, and I had a coach, and I had a team, and you see results. Body fat starts going down, muscle starts going up, flexibility improves, start hitting it farther. I asked myself the question, what do I have to do? The answer was, I gotta hit it farther. I do all these things, I see the result, gets me motivated, keeps me going. And then it becomes a lifestyle. It's about waking up, giving it your best, getting in the gym, getting a little sweat. Feels good. People think I eat so healthy, and I try to eat healthy, but I'm not perfect, I can tell you that. And it's, like I said, on tour, we get pretty spoiled. You got great food, great buffets, you got huge dessert tables, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just, if you're gonna walk by a dessert table, you don't have to grab 4 cookies. Just grab half or grab 1. Nothing wrong with that. I'm always active, I'm always burning calories, and I know what I want. That's the main thing. You gotta know what you want. Again, I know what I want. I know what I want with my body. I know what I want with my golf, and I know what I want with my life. So once you have those things clear, you just work to accomplish them.
Outside of daily exercising and weight training, Villegas has become a serious bike rider. So serious that he could compete with some of the world's most elite riders.
A lot of mountains in Colombia, and to play golf, we always have to go over a mountain, down in a valley, and that's where the golf course is. So this guy goes, hey, I have a bike for you. Why don't we just climb the mountain here? Let's go for a little ride. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no chance I'm gonna get up there. And then I got on the bike, started going, and then I got there before my buddy did, which was good. And that got me hooked up. I said, you know what? I'm flying back home. I'll have a bike in next week. I rode 4, 5, 6 times by myself. Then I said, listen, I need to get a little group. I want to get a little action. And they show me the way, because it can be dangerous when you're riding in a big group. You gotta know how to ride in a pack. And then I just started challenging myself every time I got in with a group. And I started moving closer to the front and closer to the front, and doing longer and longer pulls and pushing myself harder and harder. And it's just great. It's passion. And how much do I ride? I don't know. I mean, sometimes I get to the house by myself and I say, you know what, I'm gonna hop on the bike and I'm gonna go to Miami. So I'll hop on my bike from here to downtown Miami. It's about 98 miles, as close to the water as I can go, and I'll just put my headphones, and guess what? Yes, it's 5 hours on the bike, but it's 5 hours of just enjoying the views, pushing myself. It's painful, but it's relaxing at the same time. Then I'll get there, I'll spend the night there, I'll get up the next morning and ride back again.
Villegas has always had a steady following of golf fans, but he has a stern message for those youngsters who want to follow in his footsteps.
Playing on the PGA Tour it's a tough one. I mean, we're playing against the best players in the world, and you gotta have a backup plan. You gotta have a good education. I always tell the kids when I go back home, everybody wants to be Tiger Woods. Everybody wants to, in Colombia, wants to be Camilo Villegas on the PGA Tour. That's fine. You gotta dream. But you gotta understand it's a process, and it's tough, and you gotta work hard for it. One of the main reasons why you guys are here, just to give a little inside scoop of what happens off the golf course with Camilo Villegas, and how he tries to get better. So people out there that are gonna see this, they said, okay, here we go. Now I understand some of the missing parts that we had, and hopefully it motivates people. It's pretty neat thing if you can do, motivate people to get better.
After this break, we'll take you to a special ScoreGolf photo shoot with Mike Weir. Well, in my job, you have to do some rather extraordinary things from time to time, and this ranks as just about the most extraordinary. I'm sitting on the 12th tee at Toronto Golf, and I'm all tied up, and this is actually part of a cover shoot for ScoreGolf magazine for the June-July issue. We'll show you the final product in a bit, but this is the extremes that we have to go to entertain you folks. Now, in a couple of minutes, Mike Weir will be here. He'll be standing in for this cover shoot. As well, he's here at Toronto Golf for a tailor-made Adidas Golf Day. He's going to put on a clinic and play with some of the members here and have a good fun day, and we're going to follow him around a little bit and show you some behind-the-scenes action with Mike Weir.
Golf Gives Back, brought to you by RBC. RBC is a proud sponsor of the Mike Weir Foundation.
Obviously, it's been a big time struggle the last year. It's been very difficult, but I'm starting to come to some answers. I've talked to a few different coaches here in the last, just really in the last week or so, and got some good feedback on just a few things that were missing that were causing me some problems. You know, I got in some bad habits with my elbow injury, and not wanting to go down at the ball, and I got to kind of reverse-y a little bit, and was having a tough time figuring that out with my coach Mike Wilson, and so I started to part ways with him and seek some different answers, and got a lot accomplished actually last week, and feel a little bit better about the direction I'm going. So it's been hard work. I've been working extremely hard, so it's been a lot, very frustrating, but at the same time, I'm starting to get some answers and some feedback, and the ball's telling me that it's on the right track again. I'm starting to get there. When I was looking for some answers years ago, and went to Mike and Andy with the stack and tilt method, I was looking to try to be more stable, more centered in my swing, and those guys did help me do that. But I think if I was to do it over again, I would have gotten some more opinions from some more guys, and I'm figuring out for myself, less is maybe more. If I can get just a few little things that will kind of get me on my way and get it to be a little bit more natural. I talked to you about that, I think near the end of last year. That's why I decided to kind of do things on my own for a while, because I wanted to make it more natural. And so that's what I'm looking for now when I'm talking to these few different coaches I've talked to, is to find someone that's going to keep things simple and not make it more complicated. So I think the more input I can get from different guys, I'll find the right guy that way, instead of just finding one guy and then trying to go with it. I'd rather gather all the information I can first. Because I sat and assessed it. I'm like, Am I committed? Yes. Am I in shape? Yes. Do I work hard enough? Yes. I assess all those things. Am I mentally tough? Yes. It's technique is really the cause of what's been going on, and he helped me with a few little things technique-wise, and all of a sudden, wow, you know, I'm seeing the solid ball strike, and you know, and then you can control things out there. You know, when you're playing 30 miles an hour and you're not striking the ball well, that's when trouble finds you. If you can just make solid contact, and that's what I was starting to see a little bit last week. Weir
has also been known for his successes on the course, but he spends much of his time giving back to charity in Toronto.
We talk about struggles, and you know, I'm struggling with my golf game a little bit, but what these kids have to go through, and it puts things in perspective quickly, and you know, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of our team that you know, the money we've been able to raise each and every year. I know this event, we have big expectations that we're gonna raise some big dollars for the Sick Kids Hospital, and yeah, I'm proud to be associated with you know, the Children's Miracle Network and the different associations that we've been able to help. It's really rewarding.
This year may be the most difficult time in Weir's playing career. Heading into this year's U.S. Open, he's played in over 45 consecutive major championships, one of the longest active streaks in golf. You know, it's been a tough year, but I've been grinding and working really hard. I'm still committed to the game. I want to get back there. I still believe I have a lot of golf left in me. And, you know, it's not like I haven't been through tough times before. And bottom line is I still believe in myself. I don't care. I'm glad people are behind me, but you know, number one, you got to be tough mentally in this game. It has its ups and downs, and I'm ready for the challenge. I'm working hard, and like I said, it's just a few of those little pieces that are going to get me going on the right track again, and I know I'll be back. You know, I've been pretty consistent over the years, and you know, to play that many majors in a row and have some success. You know, I'd love to keep that streak going. Unfortunately, you know, it ended after the U.S. Open because I didn't get in the British, unfortunately, but. You know, I'd love to play the U.S. Open. I feel like, you know, the more I can play right now, the better. I want to play as much as I can. So, you know, I do like Congressional. So, yeah, I definitely want to keep going.
You're watching Moments in Time. Brought to you by Bubba. Designed to be noticed.
Well, down in the Big Easy this year, it was a big lefty who took top spot, but it wasn't easy for Bubba Watson to win the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. He had to fight for it and ended up just eking it out in a playoff.
Well, for me, this was about two different moments, if you will. There was a moment on the 15th hole where his competitor, Webb Simpson, was forced to call a penalty on himself, which seems to have been a theme for the last couple years. There's all kinds of rules infractions, people getting up in arms, but it was a penalty and he did call it himself, and it led to a playoff. And the other thing this was Bubba Watson winning when he wasn't at his best. And the old Bubba Watson would not have won when he wasn't at his best. He would have got impatient, frustrated. There's a new Bubba Watson now, and he can win even when he's got his B game, and he's somebody to watch for sure.
Well, Bubba Watson is a guy who, as you say, had to learn how to be patient, and it was really a talk with his caddy that kind of brought that out. His caddy actually read him the riot act and said, listen, you're too good a player not to be winning. You're too good a player to be throwing opportunities away and not getting it done on Sunday. That talk seems to have resonated. It's something that Bubba Watson has now found, not in his game, because his game was always there, but perhaps in his mindset.
Yeah, and I think Bubba Watson is a different person now, and I think the passing of his father last year put things in perspective for him. He is a much different man, and he's somebody that is really fun to watch, because everyone thinks of Bubba Watson just bombing and gouging his way around the course, but nobody works the ball from left to right or right to left like Bubba Watson does, and he's a throwback player, and he's somebody you can really get on his side, I think.
He rarely hits a straight shot, but he hit enough good ones to win in Zurich and celebrated with a hug from his mom. A great full of a moment in time. Coming up, we'll take you to Doral in Miami, where Team RBC spent a day filming a TV commercial. How hard is it to get 6 PGA Tour players to stay in one place at one time for most of the day? It's a lot tougher than you think. It's actually a little bit like herding cats. These guys like to wander all over the place. They don't like to be pinned down in one spot, unless, of course, they have a golf club in their hand. We followed 6 of the best in the game recently as they went to the RBC shoot. This is for their commercials, for photography, for advertisements. Let's take you behind the scenes right now and show you the mass coordination that it takes to pull off a day just like that. The commercial shoot took place days before the World Golf Championships in Doral, back in early March. RBC wrangled together a handful of their top stars for this one-day commercial shoot. Here's Jim Little explaining a little more about it.
We are in the process of shooting our annual golf ads with our team RBC, and believe it or not, it's the only time all year where all the guys are in the same city, so we kind of go where they are.
Well, it's been an early morning. I've been in California for a while, so what is it, 4:30 there? But you know, it's been great. The crew is taking good care of us, and obviously RBC does everything first class, so had some good food, some good coffee, and I'm ready to go.
It's quite interesting. It's kind of, you know, I've done quite a few of these kind of days, but every time I come on the set, you know, I learn something new every time, and it's quite exciting. It's a little nerve-wracking because you don't want to flop your lines, and you know, you try and do what the client wants, which is RBC, which is quite important at this one. So it's exciting. You kind of get a bit of a glimpse into what movie making is about. You know, they use similar cameras and stuff. You know, some of the guys here work on movie sets too. So, you know, it's our little Hollywood time.
It's these kind of commercial days, they're different. It's when a golfer at the end of the day becomes an actor, and for me, I love hair and makeup. I love that. I've already jotted down a few of the products that the makeup artist used that I'm going to go order later, and things like that. You know, it's a great day. It's a great day to kind of bond with the partner, and I've done some fun lines, and I think we're going to do some still shots.
With a team of well over 50 people, this production took over 2 fairways and putting greens, while including green screens, photo shoots, and lots of action shots on the course.
It is amazing how big the production is. It seems like I'm there for what's going to amount to, I'm sure, just a small clip, but the amount of takes you have to do, and the amount of time it takes, and the amount of people. I don't understand what everybody does, but it is a huge production, and kind of fun to be a part of.
Well, it's fun. It's a kind of behind the scenes look at, you know, how they do, you know, run commercials, print ads for RBC, and you know, obviously RBC has been great with golf. They've got 9 or 10 players that they're sponsoring out here, you know, on the PGA Tour, Seniors Tour, Ladies Tour, and it's good to meet up with some of the other people that you don't get to see all the time. So, you know, I find it fun, and I always look forward to seeing the end product.
The finished commercial has been airing for weeks now and can be seen during most PGA Tour golf broadcasts. It's not hard to miss considering the wealth of PGA Tour stars featured during the 30-second spot.
The rules of golf, helping you understand. Brought to you by BDO Chartered Accountants and Advisors. More than you think.
Did you find it, Bob?
Well, I think it's right here, but I don't know. My ball is buried in the bunker here, and I don't know, Brent, I understand, like, you can't touch the sand, so how do I find out if my ball is there?
Well, we have 5 minutes to search for this ball, and so the rules allow you to search by using a club or a rake or otherwise to find this ball. If you think it's there, then...
So I could even dig with my hands?
You can dig with your hands and the club and do whatever you have to. And see, in fact, the ball was there and it moved slightly. So now what we have to do is put the ball back to the original position that it was. Again, there's no penalty in the act of moving the ball in this situation for searching for it buried in sand in a bunker, but what we're going to do is make sure that it's back into the original position, and we have to also recreate the lie. So we're going to put all that sand back on.
So I have to bury it?
You have to rebury it, but we're allowed to just have the top part showing. I'd even bury it a little bit more, just enough to see that the ball's there, and now you can play your shot, and there is no penalty for that.
Well, that's great news. Now the bad news is now we got to try and play it out of there, but at least you know what to do next time you find your golf ball buried in the bunker. What's a day in the life like for Sean Foley? Find out after this break. Sean Foley coaches some of the top golfers in the world. We asked him what his days are like during a PGA Tour event.
For the most part, of late, get up at 6:15. You know, take a shower, get ready, go over and meet Tiger by about 7 in the morning. Come home probably 8:30, eat something else, go to the gym, come back from the gym, maybe 10:30, go to the golf course, teach a couple people, have lunch, get caught up on emails, text message, voicemails. I don't think I've eaten a meal at work for a long time where I actually just was eating the meal. Then I teach a couple hours in the afternoon. Could be on the phone with Hunter or Sean or Justin. This one I'm in Orlando. And then I get go home, go swimming with Quinn in our backyard, or take him to the playhouse or the park, have dinner with my family, and then hang out with my wife and my son, watch Nemo, Backyardigans, you know, Wonder Pets. I like the Backyardigans though. And then put Quinn to bed, give him a kiss, you know, give him a hug. He normally says something crazy, makes me laugh on the way downstairs. And then I just hang out with Kate. Blackberries are gone away, no contact. On the road, wake up about 6. Doc Craig Davies wakes me up because he always has to be there earlier than I am. So, because he has to train the guys before they start. Probably wake up at 6, you know, eat, do what I need to, get in the range at 7. Probably spend about 5 hours a day on the range and walk anywhere between 18 and 36 holes a day with my guys. And I remember last year for 5 events in a row, I watched the sun come up in the east and set in the west every single day for 5 weeks in a row. So, but it's cool. I mean, obviously if I wasn't with Kate and Quinn, there's probably nowhere I'd rather be. So it's all good.
Week Speaks is brought to you by Bushnell, makers of the new hybrid laser GPS rangefinder.
Well, playing professional golf for a living is certainly a tough job. We've shown you today some of the best players in the world and how good they are. But for every person who's making millions on the tour, and there are quite a few, there are probably 50 to 100 who are struggling trying to make a living at this game. We've shown you some of the best in the best, and certainly the perks that they've enjoyed and earned are well deserved. But golf is unlike any other professional sport. If you don't perform, you don't get a check. If you miss the cut, you go down the road to the next tournament with your rental car bill, your hotel bill, your caddy bills, all your food and your accommodation. You're not having that paid by some owner or some team who looks after other sports. It's a tough way to make a living, but if you do make it, boy, the benefits certainly do pay off. Well, that's all the time we have on our special edition of the Players Edition here of Score Golf TV. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want more great golf information, don't be afraid to log on to ScoreGolf.com. We've got everything there. In fact, you'll be able to see this show there again very soon. That's it for this time. See you next week on Score Golf TV.
Thanks for watching Score Golf on TSN, the voice of Canadian golf. Score Golf is powered by Volkswagen. From one good drive to another. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. Via Rail Canada, proud sponsor of golf in Canada.